have a strategic plan to follow. So I'll be calling about colleagues, and myself also, I'll be in the group so that we can prepare the next 10-year strategic plan from 2016 to 2016 or something, so that we can do another 10-year strategic plan. As is our practice, we decided to recognize the people who have worked extremely hard in their respective assignments, and also those who have gone an extra mile in attaining the university's strategic objectives. In order to make the exercise objective and participatory, I requested all heads of departments and sections to form departmental committees to identify 2 people who work the hardest and 1 person who goes the extra mile. For each nomination, the committees were to provide sufficient evidence to support their choice of the staff member. And I would like to say that a lot of departments did not respond. So if you don't hear your name, then know that your department did not respond. And I would like to urge all the section heads and all departments, once we said these circulars to you, please don't ignore them, because you are denying somebody in your office who is hardworking opportunity to be recognized, because we don't know all the staff members who are under you. So it was disappointing that some of you did not actually send the form back or did not just respond. And I'll be talking to those individuals so that maybe in future they really can tell us the people who are working hard in their departments, because we will not know if you don't respond. So that was a bit disappointing, but all the rest, nevertheless, a lot of other section heads and departmental heads nominated you. Based on the nominations from the departments, the list was then analyzed by a university-wide committee that I had selected under the chairmanship of Dr. Muidi to corroborate the information from the departments with that in the personnel section. So that if, for example, you are nominated by your department, but then your file is full of warning letters, then of course we removed you from the list. There are not very many like that ones. Normally, there's a correlation between hard work and good behavior. So a lot of people who are nominated, they didn't have any issues in their personal files. Probably 1 or 2, but not many. It is based on this rigorous process that a number of staff are being recognized today. As we continue, I would like to urge you all to continue working hard, whether you're in the list or not, because being not in the list does not mean that you work hard. It's only that, for example, we only gave the departmental heads a chance to nominate 1 or 2. So definitely they could not nominate everybody. So if you are not in the list, please don't feel discouraged. We value your work. It's only that in every competition or in every ranking, there must be some people who are ranked and others are not. And this applies to all of us, to members of management, to the deans, and all that. So it's only that we have to have a way of honoring some. So I want to thank also those people who go the extra mile. And the extra mile was properly defined. The extra mile is going to those people who do their work very, very well, but in addition, they go the extra mile. And that extra mile must be defined for us to give that award. So I want to thank all of you for your great work. I also want to thank many of you who give innovative ideas to me and to management board so that we can implement some of them. However, it is important to note that a lot more remains to be done, and we must continue to be committed so that we can really move our university forward even more. Our main responsibility is to continue working hard and to know that nothing is impossible. If you have a job, do it 100%. Give yourself 100% the way we have done so that we can see results. Our development as an institution will be a result of how hard we work and how we collaborate to achieve higher goals. So once again, I am very confident that with the effective collaboration, with your support, and with your positive attitude, because at that time I talked about positive attitude. I still talk about it because we need positive attitude for us to be able to move forward. We need less complaining for us to be able to move forward. And we need to also give credit where it is due so that we can also move forward. So and this way we can continue to transform Kenyatta University Kenyatta University is a public institution. We are happy that we have moved it from where we found it, even as we go on to work. And this really credit goes to each one of you, because a VC only, or even members of management, we cannot do it on our own. We depend on every chairman, every senator, every section head, dean, DVC. We depend on all of you to do your work properly and make a difference. So that is what I wanted to say. Once again, we want KU to become a center of excellence. We are already there. A lot of people are looking forward to coming to work in KU, to collaborate with us. And I would like to announce to all staff that already, I'm sure you have heard of the leadership program by President Obama. It's called YALI, Youth Initiative Leadership something, YALI. And I would like to announce that Kenyatta University, after a lot of competition, has been selected to host that leadership program here. We competed very, very vigorously, and I want to thank Professor Wangari Mwai and all colleagues who went to defend it. We all went to defend it and to show that we can do it. And I'm happy that we are able to beat all the other universities and actually have it hosted here in this university. And we are very happy about that. So we look forward to many, many more accomplishments in 2014. We are going to work very, very hard. And if some of you who feel that I may push you too much, please forgive me, but sometimes it's good to push so that we can get the work done. So we will now give the awards. And before we give the awards, I just want to say this, that mid this year, we paid over 600 million to settle the CBA issue. Many universities were not able to do this. They paid a little bit to staff members. The rest, I think they are being paid slowly. But we got together and said, why don't we use all the savings we had, and we even reorganized our budget so that we can pay the staff members all that we owed them. So this we did, and I'm sure you are happy about that. But this, however, completely affected our cash flow. And in fact, we had, you wouldn't know because you're not involved in the day-to-day management of the finances. But at one point, I was so scared. For the first time in my 8 years as a VC, I was scared whether the university would stay afloat. But with the guidance of Mr. Gitahi, who is a long-serving finance officer, and I think his officers are also Damaris and somebody called, is it Masharia? I want to thank them because they made sure that the cash flow was balancing, because we didn't want embarrassment. And I would like to say that we still have not come out of that situation yet, but I'm sure in the next few months we will come out of that situation. The university is running properly. We may not have a lot of excess money, especially this year, to give you the way we normally give you, but I'm sure you understand because we had to get all that money. Having said that, once we break today, we have decided that you can come back on 5th January. And I'll be very honest with you. The original decision was for you to come back on 29th, but when I realized that I'm not giving you any bonus this time, I said, let them come on the 5th. But you understand why we are not giving the bonus is because of what we had to do this year. And I'm sure next year will be a better year and things will be better. So with those few remarks, I wish you a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. You remember I told you it's my birthday too, so as you have your Christmas, enjoy my birthday. And I also wish you a prosperous 2015, full of God's blessings and good health. Take care of your health as much as you can, so that we can work hard and also maintain good health. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chancellor. Asanteni sana. Madam Vice Chancellor, I request you to stay put kindly, and I invite Registrar Admin to join you for the session of presentation of awards. Karibu, Registrar.
We want to thank you for that address to us. Let's appreciate the Vice Chancellor again. And as you have said, there are those who have excelled in their performance of duties, we have 18 different categories. And to start with, as has always been our tradition, the staff who are retiring by 30th June 2015. Allow me to read their names and ask them to come and receive their certificates as I call the names. We'll begin with Ellen Mwende Mwanzia, works at Cyber Cave. Please come to receive your award. Followed by Lewis Joka Bugwa from the Plant and Microbial Sciences. This is a rare occasion because you get a chance to stand in front as you receive your certificate and be appreciated. Jane Mjango of Postmodern Library, followed by Janet Ibulani Limanye, Plant and Microbial Sciences, followed by Cyrus Kirambui Karani of Directorate of Catering, followed by Stephen Nganga Bugwa, Examination Transcript Section, followed by Musa Cheburet Chepsegon of DVC Administration Office, followed by Simon Moli Kasumbe of DVC Administration Office, and followed by Lucy Wanjiru Juguna of the Estates. Let's appreciate as he receives. Followed by Agnes Shizia Wazilwa of Fiscal Health and Education. Followed by Ellen Waithira Gitao of Directorate Catering. Followed by Ebson Odundo Okanda, Security Services. We appreciate them for the long service that they have rendered to the university. To be followed by Judith Adhiambo Obok, Directorate of Catering. To be followed by Edward Ben Juma Sure of Postmodern Library. To be followed by Esther Wambui Karanja, Directorate of University Health Services. And to be followed by William Kango Joroge, Directorate of Catering. To be followed by Moses Ogut Okoth of Directorate of Catering. To be followed by Philip Kambauni Mai, DVC Administration Grounds Section. To be followed by Makau Mwasale of Transport. To be followed by Joyce Jerry Mwangi in the Office of Dean, School of Medicine. And to be followed, I'll read the rest as soon as you hear your name, kindly come. Grace Wambuinga Shao, Nelson Makaburu Committee, Finance. Geoffrey Murithi Riberia, Postmodern Library. Mary Wambui Mutungi, Postmodern Library. And Charles Mwatika Mwamutigino, Environmental Sciences. To be followed by George Mudhuing Gunjiri, Personnel Recruitment Unit. to be followed by Jefferson Maina Wambugu in the Dean of Education, School of Education Office, to be followed by Janet Guta Anampio from the Office of Dean, Director of Student Affairs, to be followed by Patrick Miaraho Mwangi, Postmodern Library, and followed by Anton Boniface Akanga, Directorate of Accommodation, and Martin Kadurima Boroki of Transport, now the rest, I will read your names and you pick your certificates later. And they include Mary Wanjiku Guchu, Directorate of University Health Services, Ms. Grace Wambui Kimani, Postmodern Library, and the last four, Christine Namenya Etiang, Directorate of University Health Services, Joseph Kilonzo Isika, Directorate of University Health Services, Patrick Washira Muiruri, Biochemist and Biotechnology Department, and finally, Mrs. Mildred Awino Ondongi, Food, Nutrition, and Dietetics. Those are our staff retiring by the end of June 2015. Let's appreciate all of them. Except for the gentleman next to the Vice Chancellor, the rest, please pick your certificates later. The next category, Madam Vice Chancellor, is teaching staff who have served the university continuously for the last 35 or more years. And I will begin with the academic members of staff. The first one is Professor Jotham Obisi Olembo. Professor Olembo has served this university for Professor George Ireri Babu. Let Professor Babu come before Professor Olembo. Professor Henry Okello Ayot. Dr. Nicholas Wanjala Toli. Professor Douglas Wamai Diritu. Dr. Peter Githaga Mwathi. Dr. Mrs. Olembo. Mr. Joshua Juguna. Mrs. Betty Mwende Mutuvi. Professor Jotham Olembo. Madam Fisi, with your permission, we then move to the category of non-teaching staff who have served the university for 35 or more years. We begin with Ms. Alice Chepkurui. Ms. Ellen Mwende Mwanzia. Mrs. Rosemary Jerry Mwaniki. Mr. Francis Boboti Njoroke. Ms. Janet Wangari Kariuki, Ms. Beatrice Ongache Alela, Ms. Lucy Kambura Mutunga, Ms. Elizabeth Mumbi Mwangi, Mr. John Kabagio Mutai, Mrs. Margaret Joroge, Ms. Wilfred Nduta Wangenda, Mr. Lewis Joka Mbugwa, Mr. Godho Murenga, Ms. Jane Njango, Mrs. Janet Aibulani Limanye, Ms. Susan Masitsa, Mr. James Mihari, Mr. Eugene Mutembei Muriangi, Ms. Joyce Jerry Mwangi, Judith Wambui Ikaba, Mr. Peter Cory Gatei, Mr. John Michure Mwaura, yes, okay. Let me finish with this one. Mr. John Michwe Mwaura, Ms. Jane Rose Mudhoni Mburia, Mr. Geoffrey Murithi Riberia, Mr. John Kamau Mwaura, Mrs. Salome Wanjiku Gichimu, Mr. Patrick Miarao Mwangi, Mrs. Janet Guta Anambio, Mr. Kilatia Madhei, Mr. John Gachobe Batia, Mr. Simon Njenga Kariuki, Mrs. Jane Gachoki Waweru, and finally Mrs. Jennifer Wangui Kamunge.
Maybe before we come to that, I would like to inform staff members that the category we are going to talk about, they were assessed by the Quality Assurance Office, Mr. Murani, who, because of the performance contract. So all that was done by Mr. Murani's office. Mr. Murani, where are you? I hope your criteria was objective. Sorry? So why don't you just come and tell members what you did for just 1 minute? So that we all know that the people we are going to hear
Madam Vice Chancellor, thank you for this opportunity. Let me just explain that the university normally signs a performance contract with the government every year. After we sign the PC, we come to the university and cascade. We cascade to divisions, to schools, departments, units, directorates, and to individual staff. Every quarter, we request for returns, which we put together until the end of the year when we do evaluations for those PCs. Now, the evaluations are based on evidence-based, which means that individuals, first of all, assess themselves, then they give us the returns with the evidence to prove that they have achieved what they say they have achieved. Then we go ahead and do the ranking, and after ranking, we have different categories. And the categories are, for example, we have chairman of departments as a category, we have deans as a category, we have coordinators as a category, then we have members of staff with the PhD, because they sign a different contract as a category, members of staff without PhD as a category, and the last category, in that case, is a tutorial fellows. I just want to say that those who don't respond, we still rank them, and actually they tail the list. So if you have not responded, you did not give us the returns, definitely will be at the bottom of the list. This time we evaluated about more than 1,000 contracts. It was a very big task. It was very objective. So if you are the best, it's really based on the evidence and it's very, very objective. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chancellor. Thank you, Madam Vice Chancellor, and also Mr. Morani for guiding us through how you went about identifying these people. Allow me, Madam Vice Chancellor, to now read the best performing tutorial fellows. We have the top 10. I'll read the names. Please don't come for the certificate now. You'll be issued from the office for the sake of time. And placed in the front position is Vincent Muasia in the Department of Recreation Management and Exercise Science. Followed by Lubna Mazrui from the Special Needs Education. Followed by Mrs. Zedi Makatian in the Department of Art and Design. She has, since the year when she was assessed, been promoted to the position of lecturer. Ms. Mary Opondo in the Department of Mathematics. In the 5th position, Mr. Ambrose Degwa, Mathematics Department. 6th position, Juliana Kio, Food, Nutrition, and Dietetics. 7th position, Ms. Rose Joroge, Library and Information Science. 8th position, Ms. Margaret Chege, Physics Department. 9th position, Alfaios Odara, Management Science Department. Number 10 is Mrs. Zibora Okoth, Theater Arts and Film Technology. And the rest follow very close thereabout. Madam Vice Chancellor, we now move to the next category, the best performing lecturer without PhD. Again, I'll call your name. Don't come. You'll be awarded the certificate from the office. And this goes to only one, Mr. Peter Peter Wambua, Business and Administration Department. Thank you. Allow me, Madam Vice Chancellor, to move to the category of best performing lecturers with PhD. 10 lecturers were found to be in the top 10. beginning from Dr. Eric Bett, Agribusiness Management and Trade. Second position, Professor Alex Machocho, Chemistry Department. The third position, Julius Gadhogo, Department of Philosophy and Religious Studies. Fourth, Dr. Ibrahim Macharia, Department of Agribusiness Management and Trade. Fifth, Dr. Grace Wamue Gare, Department of Gender Development Studies. The sixth position, Professor Nicholas Gikonyo, Department of Pharmacy and Complementary Medicine. Seventh, Professor Judith Kiminywe, Department of Food, Nutrition and Dietetics. Eighth position, Professor Eliud Jagi, Department of Biochemistry and Biotechnology. And the last two, Dr. Tom Namwamba, Department of Philosophy and Religious Studies. And finally, Dr. Duncan Kirubi, Department of Agricultural Science and Technology. Madam Vice Chancellor, allow me to move to the next category with only 4 awardees: Best Performing Departmental Postgraduate Studies Coordinators. Best Performing Departmental Postgraduate Coordinators. The leading in this category is Dr. Felix Ngetich, Department of Agricultural Resource Management. Let's appreciate. Second position, Dr. G. Ofafa, Department of Business Administration. Third position, Dr. Anton Kebira, Department of Microbiology. And in the fourth position, Dr. Ambrose Jagogo, Accounting and Finance Department.